Hello, welcome to Will Forge. Today we will forge. I got a little carried away arting something. I know that you're supposed to block things out first, but in this case, I kind of felt like if I sat there and blocked it out, I wouldn't be satisfied with what I had. I needed to see what the finished product would end up being. I don't have the interior finished, but as you can see, oh, and these are messed up. Somehow this broke. And it's this object that, like, whenever you get close, it extends. So it's dynamic. But whenever you set to static, I was expecting to stay static, and I could use it as an engine for these. And for some reason, they went back to dynamic, and then they scaled up as a result, which is a little weird. Anyway, they kind of look cool how they are, though. I don't know. I might not like... They're not perfect, but they look kind of cool. Oh, look at that. I have points. Anyway, like this big golden cylinder doesn't look bad, but it does look not Halo. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, got big green style at the moment. Might switch it to gray in some areas that are already green. But the point is that we've got these doorways, one on each side of the base. This one's going to go out the front with a staircase or a ramp or whatever. Probably catwalk looking staircase, like somebody assembled it. But this is like an automatically deploying road. So, you know, Spartans can immediately secure the area. You know, this area. Whenever this folds up, I haven't put in the strut that's going to be like the lifting arm for this wall yet, but whenever we're going to do that. Anyway, this doorway is going to go out to expansions, and I can't really, like, the scale of the doors are all wrong for what I'm looking for. Points notifications suck. I know, really annoying. But yeah, anyway, so this is going to go out to an expansion, a base expansion, that will spawn in. This side, I'm thinking about, actually, I've got this to where, like, this wall used to be there, and it actually does fit perfectly. I put it in there first, then I moved it out to the correct distance for these things. The idea is this, okay? Also, nice base design, thank you. So, like, this here, right? That is a joint. It rises. When it rises, it lifts these two staircases, which have little receivers. It lifts them up so that they end up becoming about this height, roughly, if not higher, to where they kind of end up in the ceiling area. And this one releases first. It, like, sort of would probably like slide this way to detach from the roof, and then it would joint down and lay on that spot in the middle. Then that Y support. I need to start forging again. I've been slacking, Lamau. Oh man, game. Yes, you're simplifying it. You're purifying it down. It used to be gamer. Now it is just game. So that comes down, that goes up, lifts this up, and comes in. Anyway, it doesn't actually move because we're not going to animate it to do any of this stuff. But the idea is to make this feel like a base that is deployed so that it feels like it can, you know, you can deploy more and expand. I'm trying to give, like, a visual, like this is a mobile base or something that's more like that. This had to be moved back, and so I need to visually make it work out a little better. Watched Hereditary today, really? I don't think have I seen Hereditary? I may not have seen Hereditary yet. Let's see. Anyway, I forget what that's about, and if I know what it's about, I'll end up remembering whether or not I've seen it, probably. Oh, something got adjusted wrong. Ooh, weird. Looks like it's this one. Oop. Okay, so basically, what I'm thinking about doing, though, is this panel here. I'm thinking about actually rotating it down so that this becomes a catwalk over to the base expansions over there, because I don't want to make you have to get down to go over there. Another idea would be to put a catwalk coming off the roof, but yeah, I think that the like, if I put it, let's see, put this one in the same spot. Oh right, this thing's rotation is weird. Oh wait, this. Nope, that's not going to be right. That's still going to be off. It's really weird. Oh, I'm going to have to create an object to... This one will actually work. Here we go. Okay, here. We'll duplicate. Move into position so that it snaps to the other one. A little better than that. And then rotate this way, like 45 degrees. Oh, geez, why is the movement so weird? And then something to this effect. Well, not this effect. It would be lower, but essentially it would be pivoted down on. Can we snap it to there? Yeah, there we go. Pivoted down on there. We'd put a little cylinder on this side so it looks like it can rotate down, and delete this because we don't need it. And then a catwalk would be coming out over the top of it. So it'll look like it kind of transformed up in there. Sorry, there's stuff people saying. Watched Hereditary today, mad weird. Also just got off of watching Chamber of Secrets. I see. Hereditary, wait, is Hereditary... No, wait, Hereditary's not the movie where they like genetically engineer that weird like little girl who turns out to like mutate into like a lizard creature. Is it? I don't think that's it. That's something else completely. That was something else like Prey, not Prey, but something like that. But yeah. So as you can see, they're just flat on the ground. The idea that I actually have in mind, I have some stuff that's underground here that's like detail work, like this doorway here, like this. The idea is actually going to be that these are going to rest in craters. So I need to prefab out this entire base and raise it up just enough to make hills and make little craters that these things, that the 4 feet are going to rest in. And then, yeah, it's a film before Midsummer. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So this is what the interior looks like right now. It's kind of janky. This is not the floor. This was the panel that goes underneath it. I deleted the floor entirely and started building it out and went, you know, I kind of actually like the cylinder that I had there as the floor, but I want to flip it over and actually make it the base because I need something that looks good underneath. That's why it looked kind of okay underneath. But yeah, what is it like, that movie, Hereditary? Oh wait, I can't get in this because it's we're not in play mode. We'll just use this chopper to get over there from yesterday. Shoom. The film before Midsummer. So basically, shoom, you can get all into the space, and this central part right here, I'm thinking is going to have. This is just the floor panel for it. This one is it different shades? Yeah, I might need to adjust some kind of coloring. Anyway, this there's going to be, it's a horror. Gotcha. Well, you know, I'll have to. I may consider watching that. I may have already seen it and don't remember it. It's that director though. I don't know if I ever trust them again after Midsummer. Seems dumb. It seemed like a mistake to watch their film in the first place. You should put some Why We Fight posters in some of the UNSC bases to give the Spartans some propaganda to help out. That would be fun. I kind of like that idea. I also like the idea of just general posters and stuff like that. I'm also potentially going to, like, some of these panels are really bare walls, you know? They've got those detail panels, so I'm going to probably do something like that. I wanted the ceiling large enough that, like, some of the, you know, what do you call it, equipment can actually be used in here. Like, say somebody comes in here with a warthog and is about to run you over, or something to that effect, you could grapple shot or repulsor your way around the room a little bit to try and give yourself an edge. But basically, this is going to come out like this, and whenever I raise it up, I'm also going to put like a little dune that got pushed back by this thing, so it kind of looks like it's you know, become like. I had the idea to put like a lump of sand behind it, underneath it, like it came down with doom and kind of pushed it out, right? And then on the front, make it look like though a warthog has driven through it enough times to carve a pathway through that sand, just like plow right through it, and make it as creepier and weirder than Midsummer. Gotcha. Lamau, understandable. That would be amazing though. So yeah, so this is kind of what I had in mind. Ironically, so this is what happened, right? I was building it out and I was gonna make it to where, you remember how we had this, right? We had this as a little like, yeah, we're obviously gonna have a garage like underneath the base, you know, coming out the side, right? That was what I had in mind originally. And it was like down here. And I was like, yeah, this will be really cool. And I was hoping to make it to where it looks like it descended from inside the base. But then I struggled and struggled with figuring out a way to make it large descend from the base, be large enough for a warthog, have descended from the base, and also have a ramp coming up into the base without it taking up the entire structure. So I was like, Will, do you think it would be a good idea for me to take the Cell Games Arena from Cross Battle and make the Cell Games Arena its own map? That might be interesting. That's the Cell Games Arena is just his simple square arena he creates with the columns in the corners, right? Because that would be really cool. And you've had the Cross Battle. That was the one where you had like 4 different maps or something like that in one map that like it randomly picks. That might be pretty awesome, yeah. Let's see. Are the Orphan films any good? I have no idea. That's actually a film I have not seen. I don't watch a lot of horror, I'll be honest. Let's see, these folded down, by the way. Little touch that I liked. I figure that they had to fold down over here for this to come out, but then basically they would come back up. I don't know if the Orphan films are any good, actually. They're kind of weird, from what I understand, but not necessarily bad. I don't watch horrors either. Yeah, that's probably why you're catching up on all these right now. You're considering them. So it makes sense. Let's see. I kind of wanted this to be able to clamber up there and maybe be another pathway to the roof. But I don't even know if this is enough to get to the roof. Yeah. I'd have to probably add some stuff if I wanted to add a clamber up the side. Right now, though, it's a good start to a clamber that would go up the side. I just need to make some actual details for that. Like maybe another section of column right here that sort of protrudes that you could jump up to and jump up there, and then once you're up here, maybe have something come out that's a lip of this. I don't know. It feels like shoehorning it in at that point. Better late than never, Shitography said. Yes, the yeah, I don't especially watch any horror movies. So here's a question though: is should I put? Okay, I have the idea to out of the floor right here. That kind of circle is a good guide, but it's going to be at this floor level. Out of the floor here, I was thinking that would be where you would return your fusion coils. But I realized afterward that inside of a base, you've got all this cover. As soon as they get into the base, it's basically done. Maybe that's for the best, since fusion coils can be sniped and then just blown up. So it would be good to give them like, okay, I'm safe now that I'm in the base, or I'm practically safe. But with capture the flag, which can't be shot to be blown up, you would get to the roof, and you'd probably put the capture plate on the roof. And that way people would still have a chance to shoot you. And with the seeds, you'd definitely put them on the roof. And this little platform in the middle, which was just sort of a decoration because I didn't like this circle being a gigantic blue circle on the top. It looks cooler with this little column here, which is not, by the way, the same piece. It's not a barrel. It's a column, but it has a circle in the middle as well, and I thought that looked good. It's got these blue sides. It looks great. This being the blue base, of course. But what I was thinking was, what if I plop a crane down right here with fusion coils to power it and have the crane pointing in this direction, and I make it the exact size that's supposed to be, and maybe we could like, let's see, a little Spartan atop of it, LMFAO. Yeah. He's just standing here, hanging out. I couldn't read atop of it for some reason. My brain kept being like, no, stop. It says stop. Go back. Read it again. And I just couldn't get through it for some reason. But I like your crane idea. Yeah, if I have a crane, then I can even the crane is the right size for a crane already, obviously, because that's what it's built for. So you can set it to a dynamic object. You down to join voice chat? Not today. I just want to try it. It's got to be a short stream today because I've got stuff to do with my wife, and then we get back to building again tomorrow. Tonight. So if I get into voice chat, it's gonna slow me down a lot and not be able to make me work on it. But in a little bit, maybe tomorrow or something like that, because that'd be cool. But like a crane coming up, it could like point in the direction. Here, I'll show you. The crane. Accents, Unicy, I think it's near the bottom ish, crane. So here's the body of a crane. Jesus, that's huge. That's really large. Crane top could, if I use the crane, this body is way larger than I think it needs to be. I could definitely bring that down because that could be a dynamic object. But, or I could build my own crane tower and not have to worry about that tower. What's going on here? I need to get back out of that, go over here. Okay. Dynamic, yeah, okay, there's no other sizes. But basically, if we did this, then with just a little bit of extra coding, we could say, when it activates the base, after that base is activated, it could activate a small side script that takes over this crane and makes it, you know, rotate, you know, what was that? 90 degrees? No, that was like 135 degrees? Something, 120? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, rotate around. I didn't pay attention to what I was doing whenever I clicked it, how many times I clicked it. But anyway, the point is, it would rotate around and point toward the next part of the base that's going to be built. You see what I mean? We could easily do that. Here's a little forge while I type in chat. Anyway, I'm going to forge while I type in chat. Sounds good to me. Stream, let's see, you stream around and the times I work, I worked this week, Lamau. Yeah, that sucks. Like for the rest of the week. That really sucks. But, that's, yeah. Yeah, so basically I liked the idea of maybe having this gigantic visual indicator from across the map that, hey, they just upgraded their base, that crane is now rotating around. You will see it happen. It's almost like the maps could carry a container with a weapon or power-up inside. It's not really a big deal. There's always 15-minute breaks. Yeah, nice. That's really good. Lots of breaks is good. Always. Anyways, BRB, yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of cool for carrying something. You could jump in after activated. So, let's see. It would be, yeah, I'd have to put it a lot lower for that, but you're right. I could put like a crate, if you know, if Klen could get, I don't know if he wants me to put multiple objects here to move, because the more objects we have here, the more budget it's going to take up, especially like both to script and to place. And we've already like I said, we already budgeted him to like 20%, and it's going to be that's going to be necessary for like, you know, a lot of stuff. So I don't know if I can put a crate, but if I can, teleporter hanging down to mid, it would be pretty cool. But the point is that this would give an indicator from all across the map. Oh shit, they got their power up. You know, we can like, would be interesting too. Would basically be like, yeah, a teleporter would be cool. A crane, that would be cool. Even if that's not in this map, that's a really cool idea for a map anyway. So I feel like that should be added to a map, like a crane that you can adjust where it's located, and it changes the receiving end of a teleporter. That would be really cool. You could restructure the map strategically, like mid-fight. In this case, it would be indicating like this base is under construction, and then once that's done, it would rotate around and say like this section of the base is under construction. Whenever that's done, that base, you know, because I'm thinking we're gonna have three layers. One for like air, or one for like you know, like possibly this one first, actually, this one here, because it'd be like air vehicles, I mean ground vehicles, and then like over here would spawn in be air vehicles, and then over here would be like tanks or something to that effect. But yeah, let's see, you could jump in after a teleporter, hanging down to mid would be interesting too, or a vehicle. Yeah, so the vehicles are going to spawn in with bases already. Were you here whenever I explained the game mode that we're building? Because what we have is pretty cool. These towers, let's see, I'm back, nice. These towers here, that's just a base of one. This is one that's actually kind of built out, are going to generate energy over time, like passively, and they'll be king of the hill zones that you can steal to take control of them. These will generate fusion coils, and then you'll grab those, and if you bring them back to your base and put them in, it will be like, excuse me, like a stockpile, or like potentially like neutral flag CTF, going back a little farther in game modes. And basically, the idea is you're going to be slowly upgrading your base, and then after a certain amount of time, the game mode is going to switch to Slayer. Well, pure Slayer. It's already going to be Slayer mode, but it's going to switch to pure Slayer mode at that point, and you're just going to have your base versus their base, and it's going to be a potentially lopsided battle depending on how much effort you put into upgrading your base and everything. But also, like, a little bit of added complexity will be that these will potentially, we're planning to try and see if we can get these to have like if this team was in control of it whenever it went to the Slayer mode, then it will have little like cover pieces, like piece of cover and stuff like that, maybe, and weapon racks and stuff like that will spawn for them, whereas like to face toward the enemy base. And then if you and so like basically you could theoretically have like, you could capture like that one, this one, and that one, and the enemy base could be the same size as yours because they diffusion coils the whole time and maybe we're really fast and good at it. But by the time that you get to the point where it's all Slayer, you might have there'll also be respawn points in there, so you could theoretically respawn at the enemy base and flank them really easily. You control most of the map with respawn zones and respawn points. And by then, you know, their respawn points would be only in there. So even if their base is the same size or even bigger than yours, you might still have an advantage against them because you could get in there and steal their vehicles really easily from this point. So there'd be a bunch of like strategic, you know, elements to this that are gonna be pretty cool. I like it. Wanted to make something similar with generators to capture that give you energy. Yeah, so basically that's this. This is a giant Forerunner generator that you capture that builds up energy for your team. And it's also a really tall tower that allows you to use it for aerial battles to go, you know, head to head with people. The middle is the only place I'm like, I literally have no vision for the middle yet. I have the idea that there would be something here that will break line of sight between direct line of sight between the bases, but that as your bases expand, you're giving yourself line of sight toward the center of the enemy base. And otherwise, it's going to be maybe just a partial blockage of direct line of sight. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, but the way that I've got this set up, your vehicle deployment zone also has an anti-vehicle shield up here. Enemy tanks can't shoot the roof of your building because this is here. Same with machine guns, and you can hide behind here from flying vehicles and drop down between it. So like if flying vehicles are like coming after you and you gotta get behind cover, you can do that. And then if it's like, oh shoot, my team isn't here, I've got no cover except for where I'm hiding, and they're coming overhead to get me from the other side, drop, you know, and now you're in the base. So I kind of had that in mind where that's sort of like an anti-vehicle shield for the roof. So the vehicle side is also an anti-vehicle side. And then this side, which is pedestrian, there's going to be a staircase coming down here, is also going to be, you know, a little bit open to being shot at, but it'll also be where you could easily snipe from. And yeah, so basically the idea is that would actually be where the wraparound base would extend and give you line of sight to the enemy, to this base probably. It would be, you know, a little better there, but over there you'll also get some. But yeah, so we've got this staircase, which it seems a little weird. It's practically inside the floor. That's kind of okay, but it also would be better if it wasn't. What the heck? No. Okay. I thought there was a snap in the doorway there. Is there not a snap in the doorway? Guess not. It's just at the base. Okay, well, I will switch to mouse and keyboard and turn off magnets and raise it up manually. I wonder if I copied this for the other side. That might be why it feels so weird over there. No, I did. Okay. I think it's weird because of the lighting. It's got like a weird, like, lack of lighting. Oh, come on. So that is the right spot. Okay, it just felt strange. Okay, let's see. Really, the middle could be the core that powers all of the bases. It could be all of those other towers. I was thinking something similar as well, that it'd be some kind of central core or control room or something else to that effect. So we're definitely on the same page. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Okay, So, like, okay, so these structures, like, I was thinking it could be the manufacturing plant for the fusion coils that get distributed through these, or it could be something that's sort of controlling, like, it could be both. It could be, like, the manufacturing plant that generates the fusion coils, and it could also be where, like, what powers these. So, that might work. Played your Waterworks map today with a good 16 to 20 people with classic King of the Hill. Oh, nice. Did you play the modern one or the classic one with the sandbox? I prefer the modern one. So, the classic sandbox one, we tested it out, and that's why I so hastily put together the modern one. Is because I was like, okay, this is great, but imbalanced as fuck because of the tanks. The tank was just insane. So if I bring this down and make it more like, let's see, that. Really like the scripted stalactites. Thanks. Yeah, that took a lot of trial and error, and I had to end up making the script all two script brains. Two script brains control all of them. I was gonna have one for each object, but eventually I had to, like, it was taking up like 5% of the map to have one for each object. It takes up like 1 or 2% to have it as just two script brains. So, yeah. Mini maps would benefit from using more dynamic objects. I agree. Modern, cool. That's the one I liked. How did you like the weapon placement and everything? Because that's the, you know, I did debugging, but other than that, I'm still like, you know, I went out of my way to try and find some good weapon placements and everything, but it's still, you know, obviously, it's still a, you know, potentially not perfect. So I'm wondering. These roads, by the way, the idea is that they fold up. I use these segments more literally, where they've got like these. I put little short ones in the middle to try and make it look like a joint, where they kind of like pivot there. Excuse me. And there's even one here. But basically, it'll fold up. It'll like sort of like, you know, what is it called? What's that ladder called? Jacob's ladder. Its way back into the base. Let's see. Have yet to find every weapon. Yes. There are a ton of weapons in that map because it's big team battle. Okay, so by the way, this central platform takes up like 4%, but it's all vital stuff for the map. So it's game mode stuff. So the base and the towers and the block out right now is the rest of the 4%. So this base is very inexpensive so far, which is I like a lot. Oh, one thing is, like, by the way, this is how. Well, these still need to be fixed because they got scaled wrong because they went to dynamic objects automatically for some reason. But this engines are going to look not this. This is how I originally had it, but then I realized I needed more room for this piece, and I was like, you know, I kind of wanted to move it out anyway to put it on the edge of the. Why is this out of bounds? What the hell? Why is that considered out of bounds? This has got to be a bug. All right. I'm gonna do this and see if this will fix this. Where's that out of bounds zone? Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if you guys saw it. Let's see. I've heard they fixed the hidden budget for scripts in season 3. They did. That is a season 3 a news for season 3. That is true. Supposedly they have completely repaired that bug, which means we'll finally be able to see how much extra budget I have on Waterworks, because I don't know for sure. Let's see, I used to deal with it all of the time. Yeah. Oh, out of bounds bug. Oh, okay. I used to deal with it all the time. I've never seen it. I wonder if it's this. Were you forging on this map? Do you think it's this map? Because I never saw it in Myers. Not once. But if you happened to forge on this map, maybe it's on only certain maps. See, this nonsense, I didn't plan for this. Yeah, no, that thing needs to be rescaled. Let's see. And had the texture glitch on your map too today, so you know. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so what happens is if somebody, the texture glitch is if somebody, you know, bookmarks a map. Set it to normal. I will. The reason that if it's bugged out, then yeah, then it's just gonna do this forever. So, so this base is really inexpensive because it can be all scaled objects and not dynamic objects, and that Let's see, will this actually pull out if I come down here and get up near it in-game? Yes, it will. I mean, it's a little weird. Can it kill you? Yeah, I definitely don't want that dynamic. Well, before I try and fix it, let me fix this one's location. Let's see. Had it, okay, every map can have it, I'm sure. Had it on the original version on one of my maps. Gotcha. I wonder if it's a bug that they're currently fixing. Because I didn't even know it existed until now. Never had it on Myers. Not that I would remember anyway. If I did, and it happened on stream, then someone can remind me, but I don't recall it ever occurring on Myers. But other issues supposedly happen on Myers. There's an AI bot thing where you've got to, like, there's a chance that your bots will not create their Nav-mesh correctly or something. I haven't actually seen it myself, but I have heard that Myers specifically has a weird bug. Let's see, I think it's a server issue. Oh, okay. Oh, it did the thing. No. No, but I was just saying. Are we talking about the same thing? Maybe we're not. I don't know what's gonna make. There we go, cool. It aligned. Wait, did it change height? Yeah, it didn't align properly. I gotta deselect this one and then make it the snapping point and get it to be the correct height. And then prefab it, and then go in here, go down, and then turn to mouse, and then go to resume, and then hold Control W, turn off magnets, and drag it this way. Now it should line up perfectly. I just gotta get it in the right spot, left to right. Could be. Alright, so there we have properly positioned bases. It's kind of like a, you know, ODST drop pod meets UNS, or more like a, well, it doesn't really look like a drop pod. It's like a UNSC version of what the Space Marines in Warhammer would drop in with, you know what I mean? But yeah. So let's see, could be. Okay. It also, by the way, kind of reminds me of like buildings in Dragon Ball Z, or like ships in Dragon Ball Z. If it was a ball, it would be a Dragon Ball Z ship. If it was a perfect sphere, it would be, or like a rounded sort of cylinder, like Frieza's ship. Okay, so, anyway, let's see. Sometimes bots in one of my stairways do get stuck by going back and forth. For real, bro. Yeah. Let's see. YouTube is having one of those little hiccups now. I wonder if I've got a network issue, because, like on my end, because now, maybe, Bobity's ship. Yeah. So like what I noticed is like you guys are clearly in the stream, but it's saying there's 0 viewers right now, and so I'm wondering if the death bug, the issues I was having where the objects were like getting all rotated weird and messing up, and all that are happening right now specifically because I'm having a network issue that's causing Forge to not sort of to almost desync off of you keep lagging every now and then. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm having some kind of issue right now, but no clue. I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and scale this. I'm gonna rotate this, change the rotation point, rotate it around, scale this way so that it lines up with this point, which will give me a center line. And actually, I'm going to rotate it back around and make it long so I can see whenever it's actually colliding with that point. And then I'm going to give myself that center line. Let's see. Okay. And then I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to flip it back around. I thought flipping around was the correct thing to do, but apparently it wasn't. So I had to flip it back around. And then we're going to go and scale it over on this end to line it up. Looks good. Okay, and that, I kind of like the discoloration of the metal because it kind of becomes a pattern. And that, what I can do now is duplicate it. So I have 2, and I can later make this the correct width to just have 1. But 2 of them gives me a measurement for the base, which means I can now rotate around 45 degrees, or 180 degrees, and snap it to one corner. And now the base has a floor for most of it. That was accurate, and I can build around. And this sort of stripy bit in the middle is pretty cool. Yeah, it's still telling me there's literally no one in the chat, which again is probably inaccurate because you guys were in here a second ago. So I'm thinking there's some kind of bug happening, but I can't guarantee it. Now I think I might do slopes inside the base, like ramped floors, instead of staircases. But on the other hand, if I do staircases, it might be pretty cool to have like these little dark areas underneath the ground there with the staircase on top. And if like the staircase ends up, you can kind of see underneath it a little bit, then I could put like pipes running along it. That would be kind of cool looking and unique. So maybe I'll try the staircases first, and then we'll go and do the rest. Let's see. Is it in slopes here? No, it's in... I hate how you can't just like collapse the folder you're in without going all the way to the top. I'll be honest, it's really annoying. Structures, slopes, and I wish they would do that, like add that in. I could do like an actual ramp, metal staircase. This is like a solid metal staircase. It won't show anything underneath though, so if I put, this is a stairs connector, which I believe I had that problem originally. I was putting 2 staircases. I was gonna make the floor a lot higher. Slopes sound nice. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm having some kind of weird network problem. Oh, you can't see through them anyway? Because there's a bottom? Oh, okay, yeah. No, never mind. There's a slope underneath it, inside of it. There's just these cool lights. The lights would be cool, but... I feel like also the good thing about slopes would be if you're trying to load and unload this gigantic, you know, drop pod, you're going to need to be able to get in using something like a slope. Yeah, okay, so here we have an example of why maybe I shouldn't use stairs, is because you can't really scale them. They're really cool, and I like the look of them. This is the right height, but I can't make it come out farther, you know? It'd be kind of cool to have stairs in the middle and then slopes on the side. So like this is for personnel and that's for loading and unloading, you know, crates and stuff. That does mean I will have to add like a block underneath it to sort of give it the floor that it needs. So that's why I'm going to see if that looks any good, because the reason that it may not look good is because if it clips inside, if it's going to end up clipping inside the staircase and probably looking terrible. Unless I have like a transition block of some kind. So we will see. Yeah, let's go over here, turn off magnets, and then we've got it at the right height already because we're at that height. So we just need to bring down the height of the, or rather, we've got it at the base height correctly. Now we just need to bring down the top height. Ooh, did it just crash on me? No, it didn't. Okay, it just like seems to freeze. Wait, can you not? Oh man. Don't tell me this. Oh, it's a dynamically scaling slope. That's why it does this. Apparently, this is just a regular slope, and if you don't... Okay, well that's fine, because I can just scale it down to be the correct length. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That works. Never mind, it doesn't go smaller than this. Interesting. I've had that problem a lot with these objects, that pipes, for example, while I go looking for other slopes. I'll just get a floor that's a little sloped floor piece. so I can scale it properly. But check this out. You go down here to, where is it? It's pipes right now. Is it, yeah, pipes? It's gotta be up here in P, right? Yeah, there it is. I just somehow went right past it. So, okay, you place a corner, you scale it down, right? Cool, now I can make a cool pipe. You place a straight section, you cannot scale it any smaller than this. I was gonna use it in the engine, as part of this engine piece. But that's as small as it'll go. You can do all sorts of wiggly, you know, clamped, you know, capped, you know, pipes that you, to your heart's content. They can be all sorts of like wiggly. You can have it have Y joints and X joints and everything. But the one thing you can't do is make it go straight if you make it small. You can only make the straight one bigger. So there's a little warning for everybody. If you're planning on using pipes, they don't get any smaller than that for one of them, and it kind of makes the entire set, kind of ruins the entire set. The only way to like really use them at that point is to like, if you use T joints and then you sort of like use the this part, like the bend, and you sort of like make an excuse to be like, yeah, no, that's a joint, that's what ties it to the floor, you know, or yeah, no, it ties it to the wall, it holds it up, you know, that's not a turn inside the pipe, that's a you know, clamp. Then you can kind of get away with putting those as your straights, but that means that like you've got you're gonna have that for every single one of them going all the way up the wall, or you have to have it start S-bending and doing all sorts of weird shit. So I hope that's a bug that they're aware of and that they're fixing. Otherwise, I need to let them know, probably. And if someone reports it on Waypoint, that would be great. I tend to not do that because I'm so busy all the time. Let's see. What is it? Oh, primitives doesn't have any rings. Oh, these are the semicircle rings that I was looking for another time. But I don't know if I need them right now. I just need them at one point, and then I gave up on them. It was I was going to use them in the floor. That's right. Trapezoids. And I ended up finding other things to use. But I might go back to that. I might go back to the rings. If I specifically at these angles, instead of having angles, I could do rings. I didn't even copy the angles because I was not satisfied with them anyway, so I could definitely go ahead and use and switch those for rings. But yeah, anyway, we're putting slopes down right now. Let's do that. Delete. Oh wait, hold on. Deleting the 2 other rings next to the cell games. Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Could you make it destructible since it's only going to be the one arena? Like, be able to get all cracked up and destroyed? That would take a lot of scripting. It'd be like when this object takes damage, delete it, replace it with this object or something like that. Or you could have them both dynamic and just and phased inside of each other. Have the damaged one be like pressed down inside of the other one, and then that way whenever that first block takes damage, you just delete it, and the other one's damage is already there. The one that's damaged is already there, and that way you can make it like, you know, that those craters, like the craters you could form in it, would be more you know, they could be static objects, but I might be able to hop in and help you with that at some point. Yeah, let's see, probably not today though, but I could. I don't think it would be super difficult. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, we want not that ramp, not these. I just want a simple ramp, to be honest. I probably just want to go to a floor piece. A diagonal floor piece. Yeah, we're just going to do a diagonal floor piece. Let's see. Ramps, walls. Where's floors? And then we're just going to... Actually, you know what? These are already decorated with a metal paneling that we could use. And just go snap to ground right here. And then... That is not on the ground. Oh, it's not rotated correctly. Oh, I gotta reset the rotation first. And then I can do it. Let's see. We can maybe get together online this week to make the cell games destructible if you want to. That might be cool, yeah. That'd be nifty. We just need to, I was saying, basically make static objects that's damaged underneath the completed floor pieces. And then you just delete in script the, you know, the dynamic object that you'd have for your blocks, because blocks are just simple blocks, so you can just go ahead and replace them with dynamic versions. Let's see. I don't know if I want the scraping on this side to be too big, so I'm going to just do this and sort of stretch it, and then it'll kind of come over here, and the scraping will be on this end. Scraped up side of the flooring. Da-dun. Da-dun, dun, 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 dun. It's like for me, I'm just jamming out. For you guys, I'm ruining my favorite theme. Alright, so now we've got a slope here, which I like. So basically the idea is you come in the door, right? And you can... I'm inside of an object. Let's see. You come in the door, and you can immediately go and assault the people that are inside here. You can just go straight to town, send a grenade all the way across the map, all the way across the base. And it's actually a weakness of this base structure, but that's fine, because weaknesses are cool. Okay, so what if I arranged the floor, right? Let's turn that off. That's not the right height, I don't think, but so that there is still the staircase in the middle and the slopes on the side, but I bring it out forward. Nah, that looks terrible. I am going to put decoration on these, though. I'm going to put decals for the yellow and black stripes, you know, to be like, warning, like, you know, mind the step kind of situation. Mind the gap. Okay, let's see. It would be cool if I can make the entire Cell Games ring destructible, like when Cell blows up the ring. Yeah, I agree. That would be a lot more work, because, and a lot harder, because your static objects would have to be or your dynamic objects would have to be perfect. And I don't know if they're going to be perfect, because they're dynamic objects, so their nature, they're going to be their size, and they're not going to let you make it whatever size you want. So there's a chance they won't be perfect. Okay, should I put a slope here, or make players have to split off in the middle by putting something here? Like I could put even a weapon rack right here, for example. If I put like a column, I could make it like a weapon rack and be like, and that would also give some cover for fighting people who are coming in the door. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that to make it not completely open. Let's see, true, but maybe season 3 might make it easier. I don't think it will be. Every single time dynamic, like scalable dynamic objects is brought up, they always say this is a engine limitation. If we make dynamic objects to make dynamic objects scalable, we will have to like once again rebuild slipspace, because that was beyond their scope whenever they were making the current for engine, and they just couldn't get that far. Go and do that. Fair point. Yeah, they basically, yeah, it's pretty, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to. But it would be really cool if they did, so, you know, fingers crossed, maybe they'll find a way to do it. But that's the same as, like, expanding the number of objects you can place in Halo Reach. It's like, yeah, they could probably eventually figure that out, but they're not going to, because they already did that whenever they went to Halo 5. They increased the number of game objects you can place from 650 to, 1,500. And they know how to do it, but whatever their change would probably break Reach completely, and they'd have to completely re-debug it and all sorts of weird stuff. So, like, they're just not going to. Let's see, city props, cover, crates. By the way, if Aaron, if you're here, would you let me, or if anybody's hearing it, would you let me know if that audio issue is still happening? I was trying, like, various things, and I didn't actually switch it to mono yet, but I tried a bunch of other things, so I'm hoping that it fixed. If not, then let me know. Let's see, sandbags, signs, supports. Audio sounds fine to me right now. Cool. It actually seems to be tracking all the people that are in the chat now. I think we've gotten through whatever that weird hiccup was. Let's see. Okay, so I want to do some kind of column here that looks cool and makes it available. Oh, that's just a concrete block. It makes it available for, you know, this is all a conduit cover. No. Makes it really cool for, you know, a good spot to put a weapon rack. So something that's got a really nice flat side. Let's see. Let me get out of the wall without losing my place. Let's see. That wouldn't be bad, actually. I was thinking about putting these in here anyway, somewhere. I was thinking, like, as decoration off on the side somewhere or something like that, or where I want cover. I was just going to put some, you know, servers. But yeah, I could theoretically do something like this. I think there's one in the middle at the bottom. No, there isn't, I guess. Okay, well, the point is that I could definitely do something like this. Which would, lore-wise, put the AI right at the front entrance. If there's an AI in here, they're at the front door. But if you come in, you gotta go around. It might be too big. It might be too much. A little too much muchness. Did the music just end right as that song ended? Where is it?
Hey everybody.
No, not Mint Blitz. Where's my music? There it is. Oh no, it's just in a quiet moment in this particular song. Let's go ahead and just skip to the next one then. Out of that quiet moment. Audio sounds fine right now. Okay, cool. So, maybe this is a little too close for this piece, you know? It's a little too tall. It's a little too close. If I brought it down, we'd get an idea of what it'd be like if I put a shorter object here. Maybe it's too thick, too wide, you know? It is a chunky boy, you know? Gotta bring that down. Bring it down to be about the width of that panel in the middle, because that was what I felt like was a good width before. Whenever I was like, yeah, I kind of want to put a thing here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, you don't come in and just see a freaking wall, you know? It's there's actually something there. We're not going to use this because this doesn't look good. I have to ask, how do you get displays to like show text on some of these objects? Like the Jumbotron is just a big white light up screen like this. Does it only appear in custom games whenever they put text on it, or do you have to like put your own text, like using decals and stuff like that? I kind of also was hoping it could be a sloped object, so we're gonna go look for a sloped object, or some kind of piece of machinery that looks good. Like there's this one piece of this might work here because I know it's got a slope on it, and that will okay. Oh, here we go. If I put something like this here, it's got a slope on it, so it'll feel like a welcoming, a more welcoming thing than this giant glowing column. And then it has a flat back, so we can put a weapon rack on the back. And that should be pretty good. And then if we make it, we scale it to be... It scales out from that side, so let's snap it to this side. And then we can scale the object this way to be the same width as the wall, as the floor. A little bit more to be perfectly centered. There we go. Right? And then we can adjust it either up or down as necessary. Probably up, because the weapon rack would be really low if we do that, if we go with this. And then we just put this at that height. Looks a little weird at the base. Might have to put a little plinth down at the bottom to go with it, to like extend out the rectangle, the floor there. Sort of like a low one that'll come out like right at that height or something, or right at this height. And in which case we could raise this up. If we have a plinth there, then we could raise this up, and it would be completely, it wouldn't be exposed. It wouldn't be completely enveloped. Yeah, this sounds good. This looks like it's coming out good. We'll go ahead and... I'm thinking that YouTube, by the way, doesn't track, doesn't tell me whenever there's people watching from their cell phones. That's probably one of the problems. I don't know, I'm like debugging YouTube as I do this, but let's see. What's a good block that will feel right? Let's go, actually, you know what? There's a catwalk. Where is that? Is it in structures? It might be in decorations UNSC. But let's see. UNSC infantry bridge. This might be what I'm looking for. The infantry bridge. Those pipes look interesting. They're like, okay, you need to fuel up this structure, right? Your mic is cutting in and out. Ah, that's not good. Yeah, okay, I need to do it. Fix that then. Okay, well, I will definitely get to fixing that again. Let's see. Let's snap it to that corner. And then, oh, you can't scale it up and down, so we gotta snap it down to that corner. Oof, that's too low. Alright, well, we have to go down, go like this. Actually, I hear the audio stuttering on my end right now. Like, the music is stuttering for me. I think I am having some kind of internet problem. So, well, I'm almost done for the day, so I think I'm just going to keep going. Ah, my controller disconnected. Ah, I selected that. No! Move it back down. Okay. And then we can go and extend it this way. Oh, cool. This one actually extends in the correct direction. Some of them don't. I was very disappointed by that. Why is this not lining up? Oh, it's too wide. Oh boy. It scales in on both sides. I honestly do not like the objects that do that. It's very frustrating. Okay. So now we have a platform that goes on both sides, is centered, and it's got these little pipes. Now, anyway, what I was saying was, those little pipes, right? Those are where you connect the water and maybe the fuel to refill this thing whenever it's up inside its ship. You know? You open the door, it's inside the ship, there's access to these doors, you know. And then you go in and you fill up the water. You fill it so that the crew has, you know, necessities, and you fill up the you know, the fuel for the ship to be able to slow itself down whenever on descent, and you're good. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check out. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna change the. Let's see, which is this? Tiny little pieces like that. What's this? Probably the back panel or something. Or something. No. Oh, it's that piece. Cool. Okay, that's the piece I was hoping to recolor. I was gonna make it yellow. To be like, warning, don't bump this. Let's see. Because it's kind of protruding, so I feel like it's like protecting this control terminal from people coming in the door and bumping it with like a crate or a warthog or something as they're reloading the bay. Let's see. So we're gonna go to 0. This is not going to work in current Forge, but by the time this map releases, hopefully they fixed the color spread issue. So cool. That added some much needed color. And what's the other one? Is there a third swatch or something? Because it's really weird that okay, this was the entire thing. I thought it was just changing. Oh, it's because the texture is basically only affecting that. It was only affecting that little stripe down there, basically. It was a tiny change everywhere else. Okay, I see. We're going to change that back until we get back to changing the yellow, and then we're going to put that back. Okay, we're going to redo that. Okay, so I might make it darker gray. Actually, let's make it this color gray. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to leave it at the aluminum, but we're going to bring it down to the same gray as the floor there. Yeah, that looks good. That way it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not here, ignore me. But then on the back, we're going to have a weapon rack. By the way, I like the weapon racks that they have, but I built this. Or rather, didn't build this. I found this. And after finding this, I was like, wow, those other weapon racks are just inferior. Look how cool this is. You know, like, it's like big and chunky and like UNSC, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to use this. I'm going to have to find a good height for it. I think it's going to be right in between the two magnet points. But like, if I place a weapon, I haven't tried actually placing a weapon rack in it. It might need to be scaled differently, like wider. Oh, let's see. Not too bad. Oh, okay, you're saying, yeah, okay. And then I'm gonna make you collaborator of the Cell games. That weapon mount looks cool as fuck, right? I much prefer this. It's much more chunky. It feels like a spaceship's weapon mount rather than one you just like. It's not just like a weapon rack you set up to hang a weapon on. Where the other ones felt really thin, like that, not chunky enough. Let's see. So I like the way they looked in Waterworks, but you know, especially because I put them against a wall, like they were. Oh, I'm in structures. I need to go to gameplay. We're just gonna put a weapon, weapon spawners, weapon rack. Rotate it around. Ah, there's no snapping point for it. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe it's cool, but it's gonna be really hard to line up with this thing. I'm gonna have to make like one of them and then prefab it and then copy it every time, so I've got the weapon rack already lined up. But you know, it's still really cool. It's a much larger object by default, by the way. So if you go looking for it, it's like this big ol' piece. It's called like a, what was it, like a wall access or something weird like that. And this middle area, which looks like those, it looks almost like missile silos whenever it's the correct scale, which is a really cool object. It looks like I have it scaled correctly. Looks cool. Good. I don't know how I eyeballed that correctly back whenever I placed it originally, because I was not doing a perfect job. I wasn't trying to do a perfect job, but looks like I got pretty darn perfect. Now I want to disappear the weapon rack's body, like main body, that one, so it looks like it's bolted to that plate. And make sure the visual looks good on both sides. Yep, good. And then we will get out of movement, prefab them. And I'm actually going to duplicate one right now and place it like out here. Let's see, make the weapon physics fixed to make it stick. Oh, that weapon mount looks cool as fuck. Oh, I can do that, but I want the weapon spawner, so I do want to keep to the weapon spawning system that they have, because I do like it. It's too tall, obviously, right now. I need to bring it down. And maybe, oof, that did not go properly to, oh, what just happened? Okay, that was weird. Go this way. Guess that was a server hiccup where it hadn't registered that I moved this way yet, so it went back on both. It undid both instead of just undoing the one. Let me bring it down so it's okay if it's centered, because now it's got a frame all the way around. Instead of being like I was a little worried that this was too wide and that wouldn't look good, but then I realized that once I bring it down, it's going to add height up here as well, so it'll kind of give the idea that this is a frame, you know, so visually it becomes more appealing. Okay, so weapon rack, boom. It still might want to come down a little bit more and go over a little bit more, but it's looking good so far. The reason I do that in the menu is because that prevents the switching from mouse and keyboard from screwing up. What is going on? This is not what I want. Let's see. I just want the green. There we go. And now I just want the blue. Okay, that is more correct. Which gives more frame up there anyway, so that's good. Now let me make sure I didn't move it too far away from the wall. Nope, it's good. Yep, that's great. See, so that way your like weapon that's filled with like explosive ordnance or whatever can be right connected to the device you're filling up the fuel for the ship with. You see, I figured that's a good idea, you know, for the you know, the lore. Yeah, no, I'm gonna put like assault rifle here or something, or battle rifle here, not like something like the Hydra. That would be insane. Also, it wouldn't make sense to put the Hydra here anyway. This feels like a place for more of a deal with intruders weapon, where not a deal with vehicles weapon. I think the Hydra might be something like up here, or maybe all the way up here, but or maybe in here somewhere, but yeah. So actually, let me duplicate this. Can you reset the scale? You can by switching it to dynamic and back. So just to show you, no, not phased, static. Okay. This is how big it normally is. And it's like it's called a large wall module. And these things look like they would open. And it feels almost like it would be like a door, like an access hatchway, or maybe some kind of assembly line thing. Like this thing looks like it would open, or is like a treadmill, but like I feel like this would open and then dispense food, maybe? Maybe that's what these are. They're where you load up the food into it or something. Maybe these are individual things that come out and you put them in and they, yeah, I don't know. But the point is that this is a large wall module. It can be whatever you want to. It looks like a missile silo to me as well, because if those things open up, like if you went and scaled it way up, really big, and you put it on the roof, flat, then those open and launch archer missiles at the enemy, you know, ship or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can do a lot with this thing. It's really cool. I like it. Let's see. The weapon mount looks cool as fuck. Make the weapon physics fixed to make it stick. Yeah. I also found out that unlike in like Halo Reach, where if you make the weapon physics to fixed, and if you do that in Reach, right, you set it to fixed, then what happens is you end up with a well, you have a bad time. What happens is the weapons will end up being fixed whenever you drop them. Like whenever you die, they'll still drop fixed. And they just stay there. They'll just stick in the air. It's hilarious and terrible. But in this is the Marines, so you know, of course, we need our green, our big green style. This is the color I've been using. This is kind of the Halo Wars green, but this is more of the Halo Games green. Maybe I need to change everything to be more this color. Wow, that's like a perfect match. Yeah, I might need to go to that color on everything off stream at some point, because I kind of like that. And this one kind of feels, I don't know, it feels very Halo Wars, and since the base that drops down, I don't know, maybe I should leave that green and just go with this green and like the lesser stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? This clearly is the green of the Warthog and the weapon rack and stuff like that. This is the big green style for the actual first-person shooter, which is what this is. This is more of that vibrant green is like the exact green almost that they have in Halo Wars. So I don't know. You tell me. Make the weapon physics fix. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so we've got this cool looking base and this cool looking map, and it only takes up about 4% of the budget for being a main base. That's fantastic. We obviously need more weapon racks, which will take up more budget. But yeah. Bruh, Lamau. Which part about the Lamau? What was so funny? What about phased? Wait, what about phased? What do you mean? Wait, what was I saying at the time? There's a slight lag between me and you. I'm confused. Okay, this is going to be extended out to where it goes all the way to there. And I'm going to have to put ramps down, slopes down, ramps, you know, coming off those. Oh, that's the right width for that and everything. That was not planned. Whoa. Are we not centered over here? It was centered, I promise. Or is it not centered over here? No, this was snapped to the panel. This side was snapped to that panel for sure. I must have failed to snap this correctly. I can grab that entire thing, though, and shift it over to center it. Okay. Let's see. Weapon physics being fixed. Oh, yeah. Oh, did you say phased? No, you did say fixed before. Yeah. Anyway, also my laptop while I was forging. Yeah. You're on your laptop while you're forging, you said? Oh, died. Okay. I figured you were gonna clarify that. And then that was what you were gonna mean. But yeah. So that's unfortunate though. So little ramps coming up to these little receptacles for the staircases, so that can all, of course, come in, which it's not going to, but the point is that to make it look like it can. And then, yeah, now I can, oh yeah, I can do this. This was something that I didn't do because I was not sure of where the floor would be by the time I was done. I need these columns to touch the ground. Oh no, don't do that. I'm to scale. Okay, that's almost good enough. There we go. You know what? It needs to go into the slope. Okay, I need to scale these. Oh, well, these are fine. Okay, this is going to be after the way I do it, because I like the idea of having the base, you know, the base panel, the frame thing that this one has. But if I put that frame thing there, I'm on my Xbox forging. Gotcha. Oh, your laptop died, so you couldn't reply, and you're having trouble watching. I see. I understand now. So yeah, I think I'm going to delete this one and just do these, which I had already scaled to the ground that was before, but I was like, you know, I'm going to put a floor here. Let me see if I can get it to scale to the floor. But since it's right in the middle of the slope, let me go ahead and put the slopes in. Actually, I can just do this whole thing. I can just grab this and this and this and this and this and this and duplicate them and move them away from that warthog because it's a dynamic object that will stop it from being able to rotate. And then rotate it around, hold it for a second, move it over here, hold it for a second. Select and deselect that one, so it's the one that has the magnets. Bring it over here. Ooh, it is not using that magnet. Hold on a second. Usually that'll work. Let me get a little closer. There we go. And snap. Now it looks like my panel here is not quite right. This little bridge piece is not quite right. Okay. Yeah, my son is wanting food. It's not quite right because, okay. You want to play Master Chief? Okay, I'll come set you up in just a second because I'm almost done with the stream. I gotta finish first, buddy. Nope, you can't turn my chair like that. That's not good. That's called rude, buddy. Let's see. I'm gonna finish up a little bit more before I finish. Before I be done with the stream. Okay, let's see. Oh, actually, yeah, that's perfect. Cool. Okay, what are you saying? Oh, exactly. Yes. Yeah, see, it did that thing where it's telling me that there's like no one in the stream again, but it was just really high, so I know that's not true again. It's just like, yeah, I'm having some kind of weird network thing. Okay, we're just going to snap this to there so we have the correct height. And it will be off the ground slightly, but you won't be able to see it. Yeah, even if you crouch down, you won't be able to see it. So that's fine. So what I'm also going to do is... yeah? You want to play Master Chief? Okay, buddy. Just a minute. I'm going to delete this entire side and copy this one now. And put it over there. The original is gone. The original will never return again. Hold it for a second. Bring it over here. Boom. Nope. Gotta bring it up so that it's... Whoa! It's doing that thing. I have no idea if this is gonna fix whenever I, So, oh, cool. I just had to deselect it. So, did you see that? This platform? Duplicate it, and there's like nothing. It's not visible. You can't see it. It's just magnet points. And then you get out, and it appears. And I think it has to do with the fact that these are objects that scale and like change their shape as they scale, so that it doesn't stretch, like the pipes don't stretch. So watch, you can select them and scale them, and the pipes just go with them. It scales certain polygons, but not the whole platform, which is really cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a vertical, because, you know, so you can't just like use them for floor panels. You kind of really have to use them for the catwalks that they're designed for. This creates like a cool little dark area there for like a little step for this device, so your foot, you know, little pad. Well, no, resume, save. But yeah, this is a cool little setup we've got going on here. I really like this. This is, of course, going to be like a little catwalk for you to like, you know, jump off of until that area is built. If we do the thing where I build out the base and then have it just under construction with team blockers and like like dynamic objects that are designed to look like, you know, some kind of like under construction zone, you know, like railings and things like that positioned in just right to look like, yeah, you're not allowed to come in this area. And then we delete those to say it's done being built. And of course have this thing rotated toward that direction while it's under construction. Have those be under construction as well, but they're not the active construction. This area gets done, and then those could delete, and this could rotate. We can do it that way, or we can just spawn in the base using exclusively dynamic objects to build the base. That makes it to where I can't do something as intricate as this, but, you know, it might be cooler that way to do that. Yeah, the vibrant green is pretty dark, pretty crazy. I might go ahead and... Oh, they're in Sunstream. Nice. Yeah. I try not to keep the kids on stream because you're not supposed to do that. And I'm going to have to, you know, go and get him his Master Chief. He wants to play Master Chief in the other room. But yeah, this kind of looks like that droid vehicle in Star Wars. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like, it has like the cannons on the sides. It attacks the Wookiees on Kashyyyk. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I need to center these to the left so they're in the correct area on the floor. The whole panel. You know what it was? I centered all of this off of this panel, and that panel was centered to the wall. But it wasn't necessarily centered to the wall correctly because this is not a mirror image of that. This piece is a different piece from that, and I had to do that to make them work because of the way they scaled, because that one's a piece that needs like a mirror, and so they're kind of like a little bit wonky. It's a little annoying. But yeah, it's important. But yeah, if we do something like a crane like this, obviously it's probably in the ceiling. I didn't even think about looking up. Whoa! No, that's right, scale it down. Yeah, never mind. I didn't. For some reason I thought I did this to make it the right height. What just happened? Oh, I deleted it instead of undoing it because I hit the D-pad wrong. Anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to show off the base that I'm under construction with. And here's the map. Got the game mode. We discussed the game mode again today, earlier in the stream, and what it's going to do. This was an older version of this piece before I realized I had that other piece, and it's kind of cool looking, but it's not good, not what I wanted. So yeah, base that drops in and starts constructing other bases. This crane may or may not be part of it. I still have to talk to Klen about that. It doesn't look like Klen joined the stream today, so I wasn't able to ask him. I was planning on asking him today, but I know he's got his own stuff to do, and he may be in there scripting right now. Who knows? Little Spider-Man, moment here. Jump through there. Anyway, yeah, so this is one option, is the crane option, where it goes above the base. And I can make the height of the crane be just right, so it looks like it's not too high above the bases to construct it, but like to where it's, if it's too tall, it'll look kind of weird. But it'll still be dwarfed by these giant Forerunner towers, so that'll be still pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I think the stream will be ending now. So I can go get my son set up for him to play Halo in the living room on the Xbox, because that's what we do. But yeah, so yeah, I will catch you guys later, and we'll keep on making this. I need to contact Clint, like I said, and ask him.